Now we're aware that when we derive circular functions, we can use a very formulaic approach, and the same goes for when we integrate circular functions. So if I remember the derivative of, let's say, a sine nx equals a n cos of nx, then I can work out that the antiderivative of a n cos nx dx will equal a sine nx plus c. So ultimately, I can work out a general rule, and my general rule is that the integration of sine nx dx equals 1 over n cos nx plus c, and this will be negative, and the integral of cos nx dx equals positive 1 over n sine nx plus c. This is just a formulaic approach, and we can use this when we integrate using our circular functions. But there's a feature of circular functions, especially when we start looking at areas between the functions and the x-axis, or the functions and any midline, that we do want to keep in mind. Our trigonometric functions are a little bit special because if I were to sketch them, and here I'll be using the x-axis, but it could be any midline that I place anywhere. If I were to sketch, for example, my sine curve, it's worth noting that this area here, let's call it area A, and this area here, B, are identical in size. So the symmetry of a sine curve or a cosine curve is something we can use when we're calculating the area. So for example, if I needed to calculate the entire area between my sine curve for an entire period, all I would have to do is calculate this area and then multiply it by 2, because I know this area is going to be the same size. Likewise, I can divide this in half, and this area here with the red dot is going to be the same area as here. So ultimately then, if I'm looking at finding the area between a circular or trigonometric function and the x-axis, and it's from my purple point here, for example, to here, and I know this is 3/4 of a period, then I can calculate this space and multiply it by 1.5. So the idea of using symmetry when we're looking at our sine or cosine functions is great for graphing, and it's also great for integrating, especially when we're looking at area. So that's something always to keep in mind. There are always a few shortcuts with integration. Remember, geometry is going to help us when we have triangles or circles or some sorts of straight lines. And symmetry is going to help us when we're dealing with circular functions. If you found this or any of my other videos helpful, please subscribe to my channel or like the video. Thanks.